All right, welcome back. In our last explainer, we really dug into smart accounts and the whole ERC-4337 standard. Today, we're going to build right on top of that. We're taking the next step to explore modular accounts and a brand new concept called intents. These two ideas, when you put them together, could completely change how we all use crypto. Just imagine for a second, what if using a bunch of different blockchains, swapping tokens, and doing all that stuff felt as easy as scrolling through your favorite app? You know, no confusing steps, no weird technical jargon, just simple. That's the future we're going to dive into today.
But before we get to the solution, let's be real about the problem. For most people, using crypto today is kind of a pain. It's a constant battle with what I like to call the multi-chain headache.
Does any of this look familiar? I bet it does. You're juggling a dozen different wallets for different chains, always stressing about whether you have the right gas token, is it ETH here or Matic over there? Then you got to manually figure out the best bridge or DEX, and after all that, you're asked to sign this giant wall of text that means absolutely nothing to you. It's this crazy, frustrating dance we've all kind of accepted as normal.
So how in the world do we fix this? Well, it all starts by upgrading the very foundation of our identity on-chain, the account itself. We're moving past the basic smart account to something way more powerful and way more flexible.
And that brings us to the modular smart account. Look, if ERC-4337 was about creating a standard for smart accounts, this new standard, ERC-7579, is all about making them upgradable. So don't think of it as one rigid piece of code. Think of it more like a platform, a core, that you can customize with different plugins or modules to add new features whenever you want.
Honestly, the best way to get your head around this is to think of it just like an app store for your wallet. It's that simple. The main account is your phone's operating system, and you get to install these little apps, these modules, to customize it and make it do whatever you want.
So what kind of ops are we talking about here? Well, the sky's the limit, really. You could install a module that lets you sign transactions with your fingerprint using passkeys. Or how about a session key, so you can play a game without a pop-up every 2 seconds? Or modules for spending limits, social recovery, and yes, paying for gas with any token you happen to have. You can literally build the exact wallet you need.
Okay, so we've upgraded the account. That's pillar one, and it's a huge deal. But the second pillar is just as important. It's about upgrading how we interact with the blockchain, moving away from giving it a list of specific orders to just telling it our goals.
Right now, the old way, the transactional way, it forces you to be the expert. You have to tell it every single step. Okay, first, approve this token, then swap it on this exchange, then bridge it over there. With intents, you just state the outcome. You say, hey, I want 100 USDC on Arbitrum and go ahead and use the ETH I have over on Selenium to pay for it. You declare the goal, not the entire journey.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. At the end of the day, users don't want to become blockchain logistics experts. We all just want to click a button and have the thing we want to happen. That's it.
Okay, that sounds a little bit like magic, right? You just say what you want and it happens. But who or, what is actually figuring out the how? How does your simple wish get turned into a series of complex actions on-chain?
The answer is a solver market. Now, this is basically a network of specialized bots or solvers that are all competing against each other to execute your intent. They're all trying to find the absolute best path for you, the one with the lowest fees, the fastest execution, and the best exchange rates. It's a competitive market working on your behalf. So we've got these two big ideas, modular accounts and intents. You might be thinking they're separate innovations. But here's where it all comes together. These two concepts are not independent. They are deeply, critically connected.
So let's just ask the central question, because this is the key to the whole thing. If intents are just about stating a goal and solvers are there to do the work, why does the type of account you have even matter? Why is a modular account the secret sauce for making this whole experience feel instant?
It all comes down to one word, risk. See, for the experience to feel instant, the solver has to use their own money to get you what you want right away. They are fronting the cash. They then have to wait for your transaction on the original chain to go through to get paid back. And if for some reason your transaction fails, poof, they lose their money.
And this is where the magic of modularity comes in. You can install a special app, a resource lock module, onto your modular account. This module creates a kind of on-chain unbreakable promise. It locks your funds and guarantees, with cryptographic certainty, that the solver will be repaid. It completely removes their risk.
So let's just walk through that chain of logic, because it's so important. It all starts with a modular smart account. That's the foundation.
That lets you install a specialized module, like the resource lock. That module gives solvers the security they need to confidently front their own money, which enables them to give you instant execution of your intent. And that creates the seamless Web 2-style experience we all want.
Okay, so after all that technical breakdown, let's bring it all back home. When you put these two pillars together, modular accounts giving solvers the confidence to execute intents instantly, what does it actually feel like for a user?
It feels like this: 500 milliseconds, half a second. That's the average time it takes from when you sign your intent to when you get a confirmation that it's done. I mean, that's not crypto speed. That's Web 2 speed. That's the kind of speed you're used to in every other part of your digital life.
And this unlocks a whole new universe for user experience. We're talking single-click, multi-chain actions. We're talking about paying your gas fees in whatever token you want. Signatures that are actually human-readable and tell you what you're doing. No more wrong network pop-ups. And best of all, zero slippage, because the solver guarantees the outcome before they even start.
Ultimately, that's the whole mission here. By combining modular accounts with intents, we can finally make all the scary, complicated parts of blockchain just disappear. The bridges, the gas tokens, the network switching, it all just fades into the background. And that finally frees up developers to stop building apps around the quirks of a specific chain and start building amazing experiences for actual people. And that changes everything.